Hi friends, it's Sarah with a Dollar Tree lantern gnome. I promise, look at the holes in him. If you would like to make this, just boop, stick around. As always, please give this video a like so I know you're here. Now, I'm going to show you the front, the back, the side, but look, inside there's light. I promise. It's the middle of June when I made this, and there's no darkness to show you. So I'm going to show you, I promise, there's a lantern. Here it is. It's from the Dollar Tree. And yes, I've hoarded it since last Christmas because I probably got it for 25 cents. I'm going to use the ancient apple barrel paint that should have been thrown away. The same fall check fabric that I got on clearance, and then fur, a nose, and some tools. I'm also going to end up making some arms. So my nose measurement, I think, is a 1-inch wood ball, and my little hand measurements are 2 half-inch wood beads. Now, don't do it like this. You see how I glopped on that ancient paint? Don't do that. And the reason I say is because it's here I realize, well, I gotta clean out these little lantern holes. So I learned that you just go a little bit lighter, and I know it looks like you're not painting anything at all, which would be pretty cool if I was using this for Christmas. Just whitewash it a little bit. Would be nice, and you can put a more powerful LED candle in it too. Anyway, I just whitewashed it basically and then let that dry. So I am painting a little over the wood, but I like where the two pieces join, but I find that I think I like it a little rustic, so instead of sanding it later, I'm just going to paint it less now. On the front and the back, I did a little dapple because that way it'll give it some texture without me clogging up all of those lantern things. And then when you brush it off just a little bit, smooths it out. And then I cleaned up and proceeded to forget about this for an entire week. So whatever, now it's dry, very dry. And I'm just looking to make sure I like it. I have the same fleece. I ended up not using that trim, but let's just get on with the getting on. So if you're new here, you want to make sure you have a horizontal stretch of fabric, whatever it may be, that is wide enough to go around and loop over about 1 inch to do this method. So just make sure it's on the stretchy side. I'm going to pull this out and pop this out. And here's one thing that I did not know. Certain LEDs at the Dollar Tree are red, but that won't do because it's creepy. So I'm going to use one of these because I have a lot of them. And if you push it in real hard, tamp it down like your feelings, look, it'll totally work inside here because there's a lip. Now we turn it on, see if this one works. Yay! And there's a ton of glitter in there. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, you can see it. I wish they would have put the holes a little bit lower, but you know, whatever. Now I'm just gonna cut this piece off because I just got an idea to use that for the arms. So, and then I'm just cleaning up my fabric, so I'll just scooch this up. All right, so now I'm gonna just cut this to width because we don't need a ton of extra fabric, and we can always use those cutoffs for ties or ribbons or whatever. So I'm gonna measure 12.5 by about 13.5 hat, and that is going to be what we use for this. Making sure you're on the wrong side, we're just going to add a little brim at the bottom. Do you have to? No, you don't. You could use that trim that I got out but did not use. I used it on another of the Gnome and for this little series I'm putting together, and it looked great, but for this one I wanted something different. You can tell by my Apple Watch it's a week later. It's exactly 7 days later. Did I forget about this? I did. Yes, I did. Did I make a whole bunch of fall gnomes in June? Yes, I did. And then I had to make this one 7 days later. All right, so on one side, so your brim is at the left. On one side, you're just going to hem this side. Do you guys do that where you start on something and then you were so excited to start on it and then forget about it? Whenever it's come to painting, y'all, I have to say, I like letting the paint cure, but sometimes I lose momentum on a project if I have to wait for the paint to cure. Okay, so this is done. And make sure that is set. It's fleece. Fleece is the most forgiving fabric, which is nice, but it does tend to move around if you work with it while the glue is wet. So then we're just going to fold it over. Again, we're working on the wrong side of the fabric here, and we're just going to add a lot of hot glue apparently, and we're just going to fold this side over. This just helps you get a nice clean line if you've not seen me do it this way. I used to do it this way a lot. I don't know why I didn't go all the way up to the top there. We're going to have to fix that in a second. But I have a new style of hat that I wanted to do with this one because I can't add any stuffing. Not true. I can add stuffing. However, it would also mean that I had to add something else to keep the stuffing in. And I'm way too lazy for that today. So I'm just going to cut this down, and this is going to be my arms. And yes, there are going to be 2 of them there. You can add pipe cleaner or wire. I have shown many times how to do that on this channel. If you want posable arms, you can also add them longer. If you want to add a gift card that he's holding in the front, you can do that as well. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to cut this in half so that they're even, and then cut down a little bit more because I'm going to make a roll arm, and we're going to have a lot of thickness very quickly because this is fleece. And if you're unsure what a roll arm is, it's so simple. So 3.75 by about 3.75. I rolled it up. And when I say I'll show you in a second so that, you know, in case you're new. I literally rolled that fabric in on itself and put the outside is the pretty part. Don't burn yourself. There you go. Somebody's going to make a roll-up joke, I guarantee it. Do y'all remember fruit roll-ups? Y'all, do you remember fruit roll-ups? Now I want a fruit roll-up. It's probably not even fruit anymore these days. But anyway, add copious amount of hot glue and stick in a little bead covering up little holes. Or don't. If you don't cover up the holes, your little guy could be holding something like a hello fall sign or, I don't know, something on a stick. A pumpkin on a stick. A ghosty on a stick. I don't know. Look at me having trouble with the roll-ups. So this is what happens when you edit the video incorrectly, Sarah. Then you have to watch me slowly roll up the arm. I do apologize. I am a designer. I'm not an editor. This is my curse. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. And yes, I did just push that fabric down with the tip of the glue gun. But you know what? Totally works and no one's going to know. Probably should only do one at a time, though. All right, we're just do the same thing. Look, stick it in there. We're good. We're done. Again, you can roll up a pipe cleaner in there if you want. Now, for the hat, I didn't even realize it right then. I'm actually going to turn it right side out so that you can see you have many hat styles. If you are looking for one, please just peruse the thumbnails of my videos. I have tons of different hat styles for you because I like challenging myself, coming up with new stuff. Anyway, I'm going to turn it right back. Wrong side. No, what do you call it? Right side. This is the right side. I'm going to hack off the top few inches and I'm going to go up to about a ½ inch away from the join. The reason is all of our like stuffing is going to come from this fabric, but we still want it to come to a point because that's cute. So then we're turning it right sides, inside out. Just turn it inside out. And then you're going to line up this little triangle piece. No, line up the slanted piece. Wow. Anyway, you're going to line that up and glue it down. Boop, boop, boop. Just glue it together. Okay. Try not to glue it to your table, as I just did. These things happen. While that is drying and setting, I'm going to fancy measure this by like guesstimating it right there. It's going to be about 2 inches. I will measure it for everybody. I go drop down to about 1 inch. This is a very short beard. Why? Because I want the holes of the lantern to show through. It's 2 inches wide. Well, oh, that was pretty spot on. Apply hot glue like a drunken monkey and pop it down. And then if you're like me and you applied glue poorly, glue down the corners and anything along the top that you did not glue. Okay. Back to the hat. Here's that little part I forgot to close up. I don't know why, but just close that up. Turn it right side out, poke out the tip, and slide this hat on. Look, you're 90% of the way done. So I'm just going to make sure that the seam is in the back, and I'm going to flop over this hat. See how all this volume comes from the actual hat itself? I dropped my original gnome nose on the floor, and I was too lazy to get it, so... Here's another one. Looks a little bit different, the color, but it'll work just fine. We're just going to glue that right here. Do make sure you move the hat out of the way. On this one, I didn't even split the fur to the fabric backing, which I know most of you are like, that's coming. But it's because we're just going to glue it to the hat. All right, so I'm just going to place the seam side here against the body and the seam side here against the body. And look, it would be cute if he was holding something. By the way, I did have a little glue, or what do you call it? Gift card. I'm gluing the arms down. I had a gift card that I was going to put in front of this, and then I realized I didn't want to give him away. So I didn't. All right, so now I'm just gluing down the side of the hat and the back sides and everything else. So I ended up gluing little hands so they'd poke out a little bit more to the front. I wanted them right in the front so you could see them. And look, now it's time just to position the cutesy little face of this guy. When you add glue, be sure to pull down that hat over a little bit over the top of the nose. You can add black beads for eyes, but I don't like them. So I'm going to turn this guy on, and look, you're not going to be able to tell anyway because I'm under studio lighting, but I promise you the lantern is on. And that is it for this little guy today. It's a super quick, super fun craft, and honestly, I hope you enjoyed it. As always, thank you for being here. Please like this video, share this video, and subscribe for more crafty fun.